Hi guys, it's Lindsay with Wrangler and Friends, and today we are doing our online tutorial for our dream catcher with horsehair. So when we are all finished with this tutorial, you will have a dream catcher that looks similar to this, compliments of Starry's hair. So for the dream catcher activity bucket, I'll have you go to your activity bucket first, and there are lots of supplies in there, but first off what you want to get is your metal ring. That's what we're going to be using first. And then you want to make sure to get your suede or leather string and go ahead and straighten that out for me. And then you are going to get all 4 of your binder clips that I packed into your activity bucket for you. So with these items that we're starting out with, the string part is going to be the color of your dream catcher. So when you're finished, that string is going to be nice and snug and go all the way around your dream catcher just like this. And then we'll work on the webbing part after that. So first off, what you want to do with your string is go over here, and you're just going to tie a simple overhand knot, just a good old-fashioned knot right here. Here's the big thing that you want to make sure you do. You leave a long piece of string on the other end of tying. This is what we're going to hang the dream catcher up with at the end. So that's a really important thing so you don't cause yourself more work down the road. Then what you're going to do is start wrapping your leather string around the dream catcher. Now it is pretty long, so the easiest way I think to do it is just kind of bunch it up like this in your hand and then pull it through. And then you'll notice the longer you go, the easier it gets because you have less string to deal with. So you're just going to start wrapping it in. So you're just gonna go in, pull all the way through, okay? So just to get a good eye here, you're gonna wrap around and then pull all that string through, okay? And then again, all that string through. So what you're gonna notice now is that you have little spaces between your string. All you wanna do is push those tight and then pull that string a little tighter. Now what you may run into is your hands start cramping. That's why I put the binder clips in for you, because if you keep your wrapping going, by the time you get down to here, you're gonna have a hard time holding this top part in place. So what I suggest doing is getting this nice and snug, then clipping a binder clip right here. That way you can have your other hand free, kind of flex it so it's not so hurting, and then you can wrap this right on through like this, okay? So for that step, what you'll have complete is all the way around. So that'll take you a little while to do, and then when you get to the top part, you're going to binder clip that very top part, and then you're going to tie it on to this part, okay? And we'll go into a little bit more detail about that here in just a second. So I'll give you guys a little time to get that part figured out. If you run into problems or issues, feel free to message us on Facebook at Wrangler and Friends, or you can email us at wranglerandfriends@gmail.com, and we'll let you guys get caught up with that part. And when you're all finished, it should look like this, nice and snug, tight all the way around, and the whole ring is covered with your suede string. All right, so by now you probably have your whole ring covered with your suede string. Since that part is finished, we are gonna go ahead and move into the part about the web and how to create that. So at first it's gonna seem really tricky, and then once you start getting the flow of it, probably just like you were with your ring, it'll start going a little bit smoother. So first off, you wanna go in your activity bucket to get some sinew. Now this is faux sinew, and what sinew is basically tendons and cartilage that the Native Americans created into a string to make dream catchers or other string that they need to use around their property for other equipment, for tying things together, whatever they may need it for. So it's very durable and also a little sticky. So you may notice that after this activity you may want to go wash your hands because they're a little sticky. So we're going to go ahead and get this out of your activity bucket. So you should have your sinew that's wrapped around your little cardboard holder, and then what you're going to do is tie to the right of your knot that you made to hold your dream catcher or hang it, okay? So you're just going to do the same kind of knot, and you're going to want to do a double knot just like that. Sorry, just like that. Okay, so this part is where it gets a little bit tricky, okay? So what I would recommend is the number of points that you make on your dream catcher is how hard or how easy completing your dream catcher is going to be. So as you can see for this one, I have quite a few points, and so it started getting complicated a little bit in the middle because that's kind of the longer you need to go. So you can choose based on your craftiness level how many points that you want, and what you're gonna do is find your points. So for this one, since it's a smaller ring, I'm just gonna do 1 point here, 1 point here, and 1 point here, okay? So I'm gonna line my sinew up, okay? And I'm gonna wrap it around the outside of my ring, okay? Now here's the part that gets difficult. When you wrap it around your ring, you have to go under and through. And I'll show you exactly what I mean here when I get mine through, okay? Whoops. So under and through. And see how it makes its own little loop? That is a lock. So when you pull it tight, it's going to lock into place right there, okay? And you want to make sure you keep it snug. If you let it loose, then your Dreamcatcher web is going to be really loose and kind of floppy and hard to work with. So pull it as tightly as you can, okay? Then go to your next point. You go around and through, okay? And then you'll notice if you go around and through, it locks, okay? And then around and through again. Okay, and then again, it locks. All right? And I have an extra help tutorial for this. If you run into problems, just message us at Wrangler and Friends on Facebook or email us, wranglerandfriends@gmail.com. This part can get a little tricky, so I just want to make sure that everybody has the help that they need to complete the project. So you go again, you go around, and through. Now you have the base of your web done and you have it all locked and ready to go. So I just kind of have an easy square for mine. And then what you do is instead of going and locking and going around and through on the metal ring, now you're going to go around and through on your web part, okay? So just pay really close attention to this is the string that's connected to the cardboard, okay? This is the long part. This is the part that's already on your ring. So what you are gonna do is come around, and see how I went around? There you go. Whoops, sorry, let me make that more clear. So you're gonna go around, and then when you go around, you have this little gap hanging out, okay? See that in the back? Bring your string through that gap, okay? And then, I'll pull it all the way through. There we go. And then it will lock. So see, it kind of matches that, okay? So what you want to make sure that you're doing is pulling around and through. So I'm going to let you practice that for a little while, get your base done, and then we'll come back and show how to kind of tighten the Dreamcatcher and get the web within it all completed, okay? Once again, let us know if you have any questions, and we're excited to see how your Dreamcatchers turn out. Okay, so by now you have your Dreamcatcher all wrapped and ready to go, and then you also have your points all set up. So now your next step is to start the web part of your Dreamcatcher. And the web part of your Dreamcatcher, the Native Americans believe that the web part caught all the bad dreams, and then all of the good dreams and everything that was comfortable and calm fell through down through the horsehair or the feathers onto the dreamers. So we are getting ready to create the part that collects all the bad dreams. So we want to make sure we do it the right way here. So what we're going to do is the same thing, that around and through until we get a lock. So we are going to do it with the layer of sinew that is connected to the ring, okay? So keep in mind, we're not connecting this to the ring. We're connecting it to the sinew that is connected to the ring, okay? So you're going to go around that sinew part, okay? And then you're gonna pull it through. Easier said than done, I know. Okay? And then you wanna make sure you get the lock. If you just go through, it's not gonna help you, okay? So get that same lock. So see how I went around, through, and then it has the locking mechanism to it now? That's what allows you to go on to the next part, okay? So then, around, through, okay? And then here's the part, okay? So you've gone around, you've gone through, now you loop, okay? Now for the next part, I'm gonna show you a common way that people accidentally do it. So that way, if you feel yourself doing this, you know what you're doing and you know how to fix it. So you should be going around, through, and loop until it locks, okay? Sometimes people go around, through, okay? And then they just go on to the next one. What that does is you can see it just is around and through, okay? So then it's gonna wiggle, and the web part that's supposed to be catching the bad dreams is just wiggling around, okay? So you wanna go around and through, okay? But then take your long part that's connected to the cardboard and loop, okay? And bring it through that way. So then you have it locked. So you can kind of see the difference. So again, I'm gonna show you the wrong way and how to do it the correct way. So if you do it, quote, the wrong way, it just means you're missing one step, okay? So we're coming around here. I'm going around. I go through, okay? Don't be tempted to go on to your next part now, because see, it moves. What you have to do for your next part is go through to the left, okay, then lock, right? So around, through, okay? Now see where I'm gonna take this string? To the left. And lock, okay? Around, through, okay? And then now look ahead. Where should I be pulling the string through? To the right or to the left, okay? Think of it like that. I'm gonna pull it through on the left. That's what's gonna give it the locking mechanism, okay? And lock. Okay, so by now, you have part of your web finished, right? You have the first layer. So now you just keep going, okay? So you're gonna go around, through the layer that you just did, okay? So remember, so now see that little opening, if this is starting to make sense, you see that little opening right here that you take your long part through and lock, okay? And make sure you pull it snug, all right? So then now kind of plan ahead. You see this part, you know you're gonna go around, through, okay? And then now look to your left, okay? And you're gonna pull it tight. All right? And you're gonna keep doing that all the way around until you get to the center where you can't get it any tighter in the middle anymore, okay? Again, if you have questions, please contact us, Facebook, Wrangler and Friends, or email wranglerandfriends@gmail.com. We will answer your questions as soon as we possibly can. So go ahead and finish that part, and then I'll show you how to tie it in the middle on this next clip. Okay, so by now you have completed your web. I just did a really simple star one, and again, you can do the star pattern by just making sure you have the same amount of points as I do as on touching the ring. So now you just want to make sure you pull it really tight, and you can see I left my star a little bit uneven. So what you can do is take a pencil or a pen, and you can move these little corners like this to make that star look a little bit more even, okay? So this is the part where you can tweak your pattern a little bit, so that way you're completely happy with how it's turned out, and you can move it around and wiggle it around. So now after you get it all fixed up exactly how you want, it's time to tie it. And I just do a really simple, just tie through knot like this. I don't know what the actual knot's called, but it works just fine for this project. And then I just pull it really tight. And then I'll just cut off that remainder. Okay, and then what's the next part is the horsehair. Now this is where you can be creative. In your activity bucket, I put horsehair, but I also put rubber bands, and I also put beads, okay? So your extra sinew, you can bead and tie onto your actual web, or you can tie your horsehair on. I put a lot of leftover leather string, more than you'd need, so that way you could tie on your horsehair here. What I feel is the easiest way to do this is to take your horsehair and fold it over your dream catcher. If you want it like this, take your band, tie it tightly, and then tie your string on that matches your dream catcher, just for aesthetics at the very end. So that's one way to do it. And I've also seen people tie horsehair like in the actual web portion. I've seen them tie it at the top. So you can really use your creativity here. Same with the beads. I have put some beads here on my horsehair part. I put beads in the web. I've seen people bead the handle, and then that way where the handle hangs, it's beaded there. So really, it's all up to you. You can use all your creativity and all your imagination to make it exactly how you want. When your dream catcher is all finished, we would love to see how yours turned out. So you can message us on Facebook at Wrangler and Friends, or email us wranglerandfriends@gmail.com. Once again, thank you so much for buying the dream catcher activity bucket, and I really hope that you enjoyed learning a little bit about the dream catcher itself, as well as how to make it. Thanks again.